Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to San Diego, Sept of the Howling Winds. Tonight we have Sierra. She's heard about some of her sept mates going on a little excursion and she wants to help since she's unavailable at the time. So, what is Sierra doing to aid her sept mates in this?
Well, Sierra's gone and gotten a general location of the area in which the Garu are going to be investigating, um, and she's figuring that it's probably going to be a good idea to, at the very least, send some spirits out to handle, to at least perform a bit of reconnaissance to see what they can figure out. Um, she does have a couple of dots in spirit networks, so she has been kind of making sure that she has at least a few spirits on retainer, as it were, to go ahead and scout out. She's made sure to make friends with the bird spirits, which make up her spirit network background, since she is very much one for maintaining a bit of a bird's eye view. She has ideas to maybe involve pattern spiders, but she's not quite ready for that yet. She doesn't know too much about the Weaver, and she's very hesitant about that. But that's for another scene. Um, she will have paid proper chiminage by one, laying out birdseed for the local birds to actually feed on, to actually feed and, like, not go hungry. She also would have done her best to maintain some of the nests that have been made by birds, and if there have been any, like, dropped eggs or anything, she'll make sure they're properly taken care of, things like that.
Okay.
This would have been drawn out in the past few days, so that way she's giving as much as she's getting, really.
All right. So, how are you describing where you want them to go?
Okay. Based on the general info Sierra got, they're going to scout a park, correct?
An area near a park, not
Okay.
necessarily the park itself, but there's a park in close proximity. There's actually several parks in close proximity.
She will describe she'll describe it to the birds as the few patches of green within the gray. The few large patches of green within the gray. Um, and a bit of an area around that. Some of her set mate, some of I'll switch to in character. Some of my set mates are going to be performing some scouting and some investigation, and this is going to be a bit of a forward recon, as it were. I'd like to get as much info on the area as I can, see if there's any big worm threats that we need to know about, or weaver threats.
The birds agree and fly off. Flap, 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 flap. And they're gone for a couple hours before they return to you. Oh, and in that little whistly sound of a bird chirping, in the spirit speech, you understand what they're saying. There's there's a very bad place very near there. There's many creatures, bad creatures, ones that break and destroy and change. They change the world. Some of it looks, some of the gray looks strange, like like it's not normal. The ground looks soft and bouncy almost as the creatures were moving across it.
Hmm. And these were
And
spiders.
no, there were some spiders near the edges, like they were trying to work to maintain what they had without letting it spread too much. But spiders are working very hard. There's only so much they can do. Um, but there's something under it, something you can feel it's beating. There's you feel it coming from under there. It's big. It's bad. It's very not good. It's like the worm that eats the bird.
A snake. Is it like a snake? Or
Kind of, but it's not. Snakes can be good though, not to birds. Those snakes can be food to some birds. But no, this is just badness. This is wrongness. This is dangerous. Very dangerous. It seemed to that area around there seemed to sometimes just change as if something just willed it. It was a very bad area. Stay away from there. There are many creatures of the destroyer there.
out of character, Nat. I'm very unfamiliar with the rules in the game at the moment, and I apologize. Do I have the spirit lore to know what a Nexus crawler is?
I'll let you roll diff 8.
Okay.
Intelligence spirit
Intelligence.
lore.
Okay. We're just gonna let it ride and see what happens. Ew! Shouldn't have let it
Oh,
ride.
you've heard of
Yeah.
some crazy stuff. So many rumors. Sometimes what you hear about spirits is just rumors, and you're not
Yeah.
entirely sure. It's hard to get some of the older theaters just sit down and say, okay, this is this and this and this and this and this, and just like really spell it out for you. So
Mhm.
you're not certain on what exactly it could be. You're pretty sure that it's very bad though,
That's fair. That's still something to let Adelheid and the rest know about.
because
Um,
if it can change the umbra in the area pretty easily, that's a major advantage on
yeah.
their side.
Yeah, she's never heard of. Okay, I mean, all spirits and even Gara are capable of manipulating the Umbra to a degree, but this sounds like some a bit more advanced than that. Um,
It was a large enough area that birds flying overhead noticed it.
yeah, that's legit. All right, so she'll say, okay. So we've got that weird thing crawling around. Was was that the only thing, or was that just the thing that stuck out the most?
There were many of the worm's creatures, even some of your kind who were twisted,
Hmm. Do you have a count on them?
and they kind of confer between themselves. Maybe we saw 6 or 8.
Sarah kind of lets out a bit of air with a deep exhale. That's going to be a tough fight. We don't even know what rank they are.
There was one man wandering around. There was something different about him. He was not normal. He was leaving though when we arrived, and he like just reached out and just opened, and there was like this hole into somewhere else and he left. It was very strange. There was a lot of energy put off by it.
Were the corrupted Garu deferring to him? Was he their alpha?
They no, they seemed to be respectful of him, but it was a different kind of respect than Garusho spirits or others of their kind, from what we have seen.
Hmm. Can you explain how so?
When you speak to your betters, you you know how you act, right? The looking down, the exposing the tender bits.
Yes.
They did none of that. They stood tall and proud and seemed very happy. We did not get close enough to hear what they were saying. There were too many of the destroyers.
That's perfectly all right.
But they seemed happy that he had been there.
Hmm. That's also a problem. Was there anything else?
One of the parks further away seemed to have a small. What are those? What do you call those things? They're like sometimes like earth or trees raised up and made solid around an area.
Mm, I'm not following.
Usually the spiders make them when they around places. I think you call them walls.
There was a wall of trees?
No, it was almost like a wall of light. It was getting weaker, but it was there. Perhaps one of yours had strengthened it recently.
Maybe. And this was something of the wild.
Yes,
Sarah kind of crosses her arms and thinks.
the taint is spreading though. It is one of the smaller parks is no longer green. It is now just a brownish gray. The others are starting to change as well.
Then it sounds like we need to move quickly.
I would recommend moving in the next day or so at the latest. It is very dangerous. And it will be more dangerous the longer you wait. They may have more of those creatures if you wait too long. The ones underground. The worms that eat snakes. That eat birds.
All right. Considering what they're going to be up against, they're going to need some form of support. Thank you for everything that you've done. I'll make sure to continue my feeding of the birds over the next few days.
Thank you. Is there more you need of us?
Not for right now.
They nod and flutter off about the sept then.
All right. I don't know if you have any time, but Sierra has an idea for an awesome talon to make use of.
Okay.
I am going to pitch it to you right now. It's basically going to be a plot device talon. Shouldn't know what the fuck that giant worm thing is that's warping reality. That doesn't sound good. However,
Mm-hmm.
she does understand that it's a bane. She also understands that there's some BSDs there.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what she knows of their spirit lore, cleansing is a charm that water spirits have.
Mm-hmm.
Her idea is to create some form of talon for the group to use, so that when they engage these black spirals, they have they have a little bit of cleansing rain to purge away the worm's corruption.
Okay. Do you want to
This
make cleansing talons?
a bit. It's not going to be like rite of cleansing where it's like, oh, this is a gentle thing. This is meant to be a forceful attack against wormish energy.
Okay.
If not a forceful attack, then something debilitating. To like either mess with gifts and worm charms and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how do you want to go about doing that?
There are a bunch of water spirits right over there that Sierra has made quite a lot of inroads with.
Yes, there are. Do you want to go over and ask the water spirits to help you with this?
Yeah, Sierra's gonna walk over to the lake where there's all the water spirits. First thing she's actually gonna do though is she's gonna go and find the right master, so that way the right master is kind of okay with uh, some rites of binding over such an important lake, relatively.
Okay, hold on 1 second. And you were given permission.
Okay. Awesome. So now that she's been given permission, she's going to. Shouldn't it? She's going to do. I gotta know what she's going to do. Um. She's going to come up to the water spirits. Um. I don't know how much of a rapport she has with them at this point, although I assume it's pretty good considering. I
You get
maybe.
along well enough.
All right.
They
So,
respond to your presence.
yeah. So she'll say, "Hello, hello, water spirits. How are we doing this evening?"
We are doing well. Thank you. How may we help you, young spirit talker?
I am going to be having a group of some of my compatriots engage in a bit of a mission tomorrow, and they're going to be going up against pretty some pretty stiff resistance in the form of the worm. What I'm looking for is something to hamstring the forces of the worm, so that way my compatriots and and the rest of their forces can clear them out with at least a little bit more ease.
So you come to us.
Yes.
Interesting.
From what I know, the spirits of water are able to cleanse, and while you are not a you while a cleansing would not fully remove the worm taint of black spiral dancers or other banes, they can definitely they can definitely distract them, inflict pain on them, and otherwise just make their fight a little more harder.
We can do that. These are for your one-use items, yes?
Yes.
That is acceptable.
All right. Um, she'll actually also add um, this time once I've been cleaning up just the shoreline for the past few weeks, and you guys have been quite a big help to me. So I want to do a bit more. Instead, what I'll be doing is over the next few days, I'm actually going to, if you don't mind, jump inside of this lake and see if I can't dig up the trash and otherwise defacing things in the bottom of your lakes. That way you are clean through and through. It'll take time, and I am not, I would not be nearly as efficient, but I want to get a bit deeper for you guys.
That is very kind. We
All
accept
right.
this offering.
Sounds good then. She'll smile. Then shall we?
Yes, we shall.
All right. Um, what Sierra's going to be using for this, I should have declared it. I'm sorry about that, Matt.
That's all right.
They're basically going to be. Mm, what would she use? You know what? She would probably use some carved arrowheads with some kind of symbol for on one side it'll be the symbol for water, and then for the other side it would be a symbol for cleansing on it.
Okay.
Probably would have made a couple of these depending on how her right roll went. Um, I know the rite of binding pretty well. Um, what is the starting diff for this?
Standard.
Okay, I have to spend a gnosis to enact the rite in the first place.
Yes.
So that difficulty is going to go down from 6 to 5 unless you rule otherwise.
And what's dropping it from 6 to 5?
Um, in the rite of binding, you have to drop a gnosis
Mm-hmm.
on it, and for every point of gnosis that you spend, including the first one, your diff goes down by 1.
Does it? Okay.
I believe so. If you want to double check, you can. It's fine.
I'll double check just so that neither one of us is getting shafted.
Okay.
I don't remember that off the top of my head, but there's so many rules. After a while, things start to look the same.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, V26 system roll. Attempt this right only in the presence of a spirit and is usually performed in the Umbra. When attempting to bind a spirit, a Garen must spend a point Number of gnosis points, minimum of 1. Each point of gnosis spent reduces the spirit's gnosis rating by 1. The Garrus player must then roll willpower, difficulty equal to the spirit's adjusted gnosis. So, yeah. Go for it. Roll your willpower.
Woo! Hey, there goes 5 successes.
And you have made said Talon.
Woo. Alrighty then.
Let's see, do I want to round up or down? What does Fate Dice say? Fate Dice cares not. I'll give you 3 Talons of that.
3 Talons, awesome.
I was like,
Alright.
1 per 2 successes for 1 roll sounds plenty fair. But then there's that half success. Do I go up or down, up or down?
That's legit.
So you now have 3 Talons of plotty helpfulness, and you have found out some information regarding the umbral state of this area that you are welcome to share with your fellow compatriots.
Yup. Oh, also, Matt, you remember that other Talon Sierra had made?
The blood one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I just roll for those right quick? Because she doesn't know how many members of the group use melee weapons.
Sure.
Same thing as before, right?
This one will be standard diff of 7, or starting diff of 7.
Okay, that's fine. She'll spend another point of gnosis. She'll bring the diff down to standard. Ah, fail on this one. It's all good. Not a botch.
Nope. It is not a botch, which is good. Means the spirits aren't angry with you yet.
Yep. Not yet. But she's not going to push her luck. She was thinking about trying for Guidance Breaths, but she's like, they can be fickle, and trying to do too much at once can get bad. So she's
It
cool.
can. Alright, is there anything else?
No, that's going to be it.
Alright, then that's where this scene will end. Thank you for playing, and thank you, watchers, for viewing. Good night.